probably it's hard to find out when
Dire
exactly
team
to pick him. It's going to be on the back of Army Genius as to when they're exactly going to reveal their carry for that carry to carry matchup. But they go ahead and ban out the Leshrac. It's another good ban coming through, right? The Oracle obviously pairing best together with the DP, the Huskar, and the Lesh. So all three have been banned out by Army Geniuses.
Weaver.
Okay.
It's just a Varese hero. So yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's Narman as well, but Grimstroke Narman's totally capable of playing that one too.
Yeah, they can put the supports in different roles. Gives you were pretty magic damage orientated beforehand. Now the Weaver can amplify a carry for DB. It's a bit difficult for Toss to control the Weaver, and I think Oracle can't deal with Weaver as a support, so that gives you a big advantage. Now what's the play for Yangon? So alright, so we get a...
Don't say it.
Yep. Alright, I won't say it. We get a Rubik Core. And
I'll take a Tusk mid. I'll take a Tusk. Just don't give me the offlane Tusk. It just... You don't get levels. You don't get the farm that you need. You fall off massively if you get to the late game if you don't snowball. I really hate Tusk 3. Not as much as I hate Earthshakers, but I don't like it a lot.
It's a good Rubik game. There are some crazy abilities to steal, but is it warranted to pick the Rubik when you have a Tusk Oracle at the moment?
Faceless Void.
What? Rubik.
Am I going to go ahead and predict Army Geniuses now as my prediction? You have basically nothing that combos into the Chronosphere right
it's a Rubik
now.
too.
Like Rubik.
10 seconds remaining.
Even then, honestly.
Yeah, no.
Void into the Sand King, not great. I know you like time dilation into it, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Well, I think you can consider a Wraith King now, because I think Yangon completely rely on Chrono. I do not see how they win the game unless it's a gigantic Chrono and going from there. And I think Wraith King just heavily deals with that. DB likes the hero. You
got some minus armor from Weaver already. So the Mortal Strike already does a lot. Natural Desolator builder to amplify it even further. You want to be able to chunk down the Faceless Void within, I don't want to say the short duration stuns that you've got, but you need the burst, right? You're coming up against a Tusk and an Oracle who have that instant save if they're on point. So yeah, I feel like the Wraith King's pretty good. Timber's okay as well, right? Like they don't have a huge amount of magic damage right now. So what is this then? Is it I still feel like you want to run the Sand King into the Void though. Are they predicting that it's a Tusk mid and they're just going to Timber into it? Honestly, Sand King into the Tusk is fine too.
Remaining.
I think you 1000% put the Rubik mid. I do not see.
But what does that achieve?
Okay, so it's a really good Rubik game. Again, they picked another good hero that Rubik plays into. Like you stealing Whirling Death works just as well into the Timbersaw. I do not see. I think Rubik the only way I'm looking at this is if Faceless Void gets a 5-man Chrono to win the game like that, or Rubik goes godlike and has this crazy pub star stomping mid lane and going from there. I don't know what they do then. Like this Timber, it's got a good lane versus Void. Oracle does nothing. You've got physical, so tag team does nothing as well. But the big thing is that Rubik stealing your abilities is quite nice.
I suppose. They're going to get rid of the Wraith King, so you don't have that counter to the Faceless Void. They get rid of the Lina. Surprisingly enough as well. I was kind of thinking that you could have gone for some, like, janky style, like Weaver Pos 1 into a Lina mid, just so that you could body the Rubik. They're going to reveal what the lanes are now on Yangon, just because they don't have the last overall pick.
5 seconds
Gun to my head, you wouldn't be able to get me to predict what this last pick's going to be. I would have to say it's probably a mid. I don't think it's a Rubik mid, but what else is left?
Some magic damage dealing.
Void, yeah. Void Spirit's good.
Paul likes his Void, but it's no damage in Chrono. And they have stuns. It's not a free Void Spirit game.
Little damage in Chrono.
Barely anything. Resonant Pulse, cool. You're not going to dissimulate in. So it's a...
Can you just run Sand King mid now?
Oh.
Select your heroes.
I mean, it's a dope Naga game. It's a very, very good Naga Siren game. And you've got great team fight. The Sand King Epi charge up. You can get the 100% Ink Swell.
I'm going Army Genius.
I'm going Army Geniuses as well. What?
Let me just get my predictions in the chat.
Oh, true. All right. How much are you doing?
Maximum points.
Are you actually? I'll do max.
Yes.
Okay.
250,000 in.
Oh no. We're gonna look like absolute silly goofs if Yangon win. You know
I mean,
that,
I feel
right?
like this. Yeah, of course. I mean, the Sand King into the Void Spirit is really good because a lot of the damage that you're outputting is magic, so there's not really too much that the Resonant Pulse can do to deal with that. You need to be in melee range for a lot of the last hits outside of the Resonant Pulse. The Timbersaw is a good lane against the Faceless Void. They're lacking in magic damage outside of the Void Spirit. And they have a little bit actually with the Oracle, but no break mechanics on your lineup. You need to get a Silver Edge on the Faceless Void, and I feel like there's about 50 different items that you need on the Void. They have no damage into the Chronosphere. They've got good chain lockdown for the Void. If you don't catch the Naga Siren, she just songs, and then Chronos are useless. And there's an offlane Tusk, which I hate. So, with that in mind, Army Geniuses.
How many points did you put on?
250,000,
Ah,
the
right.
maximum.
Wait,
Dude, I have like 820,000 to play with, okay?
Oh my, okay. I'm really far behind then. I lost.
That's why you gotta listen to me, the Oracle. I will get you the points.
I lost a lot. One bet. I don't
You
remember
gotta
how much
get
it was.
my advice, that's why.
I don't know, but I put 108k on, so look, if can you give me a spiel on how Yangon take this game?
Oh, Naaman.
Maybe with
Dying
first
would
blood.
be a pretty big deal. I mean, he doesn't have the Shikuchi.
Oh no, Naaman.
That's one way. Just giving
Oh
something
my-
over to a Tusk to allow. There's no reason. There is no reason to want to go that deep. Maybe he was trying to get a Sentry Ward into the small camp, but it's not like a Faceless Void loves to take that. A Void Spirit loves to take that either. Mana is such a precious commodity for him to have in the laning stage,
30
considering how
seconds
he's
to
going to
battle.
be against the Sand King. So, in a previous patch, he would have been fine, but that 3 extra seconds on the Shikuchi cooldown were his undoing.
When was the last time you casted a Naga game? Because I have not seen this here in quite some time.
Yeah, I think I've seen it, but I haven't cast it. Don't ask me when I saw it, but I feel like it was some European Dota.
The battle begins.
Yeah, so they changed this Riptide. Alright, I gotta look at this afterwards. Zorine.
Look at it now, we got time.
Hang on. Zorine. Oh, Sakuchi's still such a long cooldown. Alright, let's look at it. Where are you? Do you like this new Riptide or no?
You think I'm a Naga Siren player?
But you're an analyst. You just have to give me something.
Let me go back to my stats and see how many games of Naga Siren I've played. Oh, it's not 0. I'm surprised. 4 with a 50% win rate. Let's go. From what I've seen in pubs and the like, it's just basically dump a lot of your illusions into camps and just right-click like mad, and eventually they'll clear stuff. So you can get a lot of farm very quickly. Maybe I need to ask Mizu about all of this, because he is the Naga Siren specialist within Southeast Asia, that's for sure. But if he's not picking it, it's a bad hero.
Yeah. I think the one nice thing as well is about the Naga is that you've got a bunch of Agi early, 7 armor to start, 3.3 Agi gain, so it's going to be a lot of armor versus the core Tusk. So, but maybe you don't go as much into the tag team. We have kind of seen Tusk shy away from that, like more into the shards and the snowball.
I mean, I think the shards was purely to kill the Weaver for first blood, right? There's no other reason. You've already got a Rubik with the Fade Bolt to secure the range creep, so Tusk doesn't need to be wasting his mana for that. And unfortunately, he was a little bit off the mark there from RT. Otherwise, Varese probably dies.
This mid lane with Azura up against Hor, this should be a pretty comfortable matchup for the Sand King, right?
Oh, completely. I mean, they don't have... actually, he's holding on to a sentry right now. So he's actually going to go ahead and deward that small camp. Again, though, I'm not sure how likely it is that he's going to look to clear that one. In all honesty, I feel like Azura can probably just look to push this wave in and take away the small camp from the Void Spirit.
Guess one thing to mention is that Azura is a bit of a low level in the Sand King, so maybe not as confident in how it can perform on it. But
Just blocking the camp up immediately.
The last lane down bottom. Wummy on the Timber paired with Narman on the Weaver. And I like what they've done. They put the Grimstroke out of the lane of where the Oracle is going to be playing, so you don't have the potential. As Varese actually almost goes down. They might still turn it around. Look at the Riptides just being spammed out on RT. And now skill lead. No, he's going to scurry on out of there.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
He should be able to get the camp block
Amen.
removed as well.
Another bash. One more right click. Anything? Yep, they'll get it from Zorain. So Narman's going to go down for the second time this game. But okay, I really like this from Timbersaw. The Orb of Venom versus Faceless Void is a very awesome build because you're just going to play this lane really aggressive, up in the face. I've even seen Timbers go sometimes Orb of Corrosion, just that little bit of tick damage. And he's a very bad laner in the face. Well, not very bad, but he's a weak laner. So this is an aggressive item that can pay off huge, or it can look kind of tough. But in some situations, it's good, and I think this is one of those lanes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that he was able to get that solo kill as well on the Oracle, it's just so much experience given through to this Timbersaw. So it's a lot more time where the Weaver's going to have the capability to leave the lane or influence or go courier hunting, pull the wave. Just makes Timbersaw's life even easier.
What do you think is the role for Narman, though, shortly? Because Wummy, now already level 4, is probably going to be asking for a solo lane. So what's the play for Narman?
It's weird, right? Because Weaver's not the greatest at like making stacks and doing all this sort of thing. Zori has to be a little bit careful. He just TP back to the lane. But like you've got a Naga Siren and you're on the Dire side. So Naga wants to be taking those camps pretty damn quickly and efficiently. So I think maybe he might just look to put a little bit more emphasis into preventing a lot of these pulls that Zorain's going for. Just directly harass out the Oracle. Try and stay out of experience range if you can. Maybe get to level 3 and then look to do it. Yep.
Of course, the potential of the Beetles, or even the extra Sakuchi, whatever Narman feels like. But I'm worried because we've got the Catapult coming out shortly. And as soon as you get the Catapult, and maybe even level 6, then Wummy will have firm control of this lane, as he might even get a kill on Zorain along with that. Although Zorain will try and path his way into the river where there's not as many trees, but he's got boots and he's got the Orb of Venom slow, so might not even need a spell to get the kill.
Should be able to get back to the lane as well. Might only miss one creep underneath the tower. Well worth it with all the experience that he's able to grab there from killing the Oracle. And well, he does end up going the 1 point into the Swarm here on Weaver, and more importantly, his involvement in that gets him his Urn of Shadows. So he's just going to be so much more capable of roaming around the map, staying ever present and a constant threat.
I wonder if we can see rotations coming out from Hawk, because he does have the level 6 now, so maybe the burst from Double Astral Step and Resonant Pulse is enough if the Timbersaw is diving aggressively?
Maybe, but I guess he isn't really itemizing towards any kind of magic resist so far. I think he probably should. I mean, look at what you're going up against. It's basically only the Faceless Void that is going to be doing the majority of physical damage. And even early on, right, the Time Lock is the thing that's preventing you from having this early benefit. Just diving Zorain under the tower. He doesn't care. It's all 5.
Team might be in trouble. Reese has got 2 points in the Ink Swell, so they're going to try and rely on that. Oh, okay. Awkward spell casting, and now T. He's got skill lane nearby. They're going to continue to cancel the epicenter. Zero's going to be cautious, especially with Hor thinking about showing up. So a big kill for Yangon Galacticos, and they'll even catch up Varese. Trying to juke his way to the western side, but T gets a last punch, and bottom. He's going to have to chain himself out of harm's way.
Radiant's top
It's out.
tower is under
Actually
attack.
has 0 points in the tag team on this task as well. Gone pure magic style. Doesn't really synergize with the phase boots build, but really just feeling the need to try and pressure out those Naga illusions as much as possible. Tag team, very single target focused.
And I don't know if RT can play this lane. I also don't know if Void can play this lane, but I don't think the Tusky's going to do much better. Maybe just spam of abilities thanks to the Soul Ring?
Yeah, pretty much. He's just going to consistently try and get as many creeps as he can without losing the tower to the power of the creeps.
Want to try and bring a +1 down. Swami wants to play aggressive, and they're going to do just that. They can easily tank the tower. They can even glyph it up if they feel like that's a necessity. RT is going to make them work for it, though, snowballing to the other side of the lane, but I like that. Like, you give, again, we were kind of mentioning what role Naman wanted to play in this lane and how he looked to provide his assistance. He gave solo experience a little bit for the Timber, just annoying the support, and then when Wami wants that extra little bit of damage required to get a kill and help with the tower, then he can come back and kind of show in the lane.
But it's already a 2k net worth lead to Army Geniuses. 8 minutes in, every single lane has gone favorably for them. Even though Hor, I'd say he's done a pretty damn good job with being able to make those rotations be part of 3 out of the 4 kills. Just look at how slow this push is relative to what a Timbersaw, for example, is able to provide.
This kill is going to give Azura enough gold for the Blink, so 8 minutes, a Blink Dagger completed, and this is very scary. DB is free farming too, so, and it's a good Naga game as well. I mean, it is a exceptional Naga game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You're just going to look to combine together with the Grimstroke at this stage, right? Hopefully trying to catch out someone like the Faceless Void. They've got plenty of damage with that Blink Epicenter, plus the stuns looking to come through. Looks like he would have been happy to take out Hor, but with the Oracle standing right there, I'm not sure how confident you can be in looking to go for that.
We get the kill on the Oracle nonetheless, just revealing the Blink. You're going to be a bit cautious how you play top now, and you see DB is trying to tunnel his way into the tree line.
I don't even know if he revealed the Blink, right? He just stunned it, I believe. Maybe I'm blind.
I thought he blinked, but also now I'm second guessing myself. Maybe I'm blind.
Alright, I'm the older one. I'm much more likely to be blind.
Maybe I have some predisposed loss
some
of
zoomic cataracts.
Yeah, yeah, loss of eyesight or something coming in as soon as they hit 22. Oh no, it's a disaster. They're gone.
They're pinging Kish.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
get out!
Time walk.
Get out!
I mean, you're soon not going to have a tower for reinforcements. They're just waiting for that. Yep, DB takes it. Now where can you go?
Oh, it's such a rough game. Like, what do you do if you're Yangon Galacticos? 4,000 deficit. And they're getting...
Ship enter GG is what you do.
Oh no, Danog, you can't do that. This is a...
I got 250,000 points riding on this one.
No. Come on, no bias here. Well, they should... Alright, you get something. Mid-tower, which is honestly... I don't know how they got that, but we've seen a lot of attention from Army Geniuses on the side lane, so that's a definitely silver lining for Yangon Galacticos, and a big thing that they could put some of their attention there to find the early tower.
What Wami's going to go for next after this? I mean, is he just wanting to get rid of something like the silencers perhaps that are coming out, the root? Does he need the Yule Scepter? Probably not, but it'll be nice. If he gets caught in the chrono, he's probably not dying because you're not able to connect through with a lot of that magic damage after the fact. So if he goes for a Yule Scepter, he can maybe save someone else just by tossing them up into the air. But this is a sort of game where I feel like you kind of need the Flamethrower pretty early on Wami. Like, you don't have the greatest tower taking on Army Genius's side.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They are all moving top on Army Geniuses. It's going to be on Azura to get the jump, and with the lane ward, they will run into the Rubik. So an easy pick-off, no messing around for Army Geniuses. And look at how they're playing, making sure they do not group up for a multi-man chrono. Okay, Sage going to try and jump the backline. That's where the Sand King is vulnerable at best. Can they get the Timbersaw kill as well? He's not an easy one by any stretch, but Stolen Chakra from Skill A will give them that opportunity. So nice buyback from the Rubik, recognizing they would have been lacking the damage without his assistance. And now even Naman in the tree line is going to be in trouble. Time lapse down to the south, but they do get the Fortune's end at the last second, so Yangon Galacticos find 3.
All right, nice little way to go. They do end up losing the mid tower, though. DB not wanting to just sit idly in the jungle, having to be a little bit careful here on the Void Spirit. Taking a fair amount of damage here, and just have a look at the quick buy through on DB.
Top lane, Azura, that's a huge epi. Faceless Void's brought down incredibly low, and the snowball won't even be near him to offer some protection. Zati tried to put his body on the line, but now cutting through the trees.
What? Oh, nice little juke there.
Okay, yeah. If they don't see him right, well, he's got to be left, and it would have been too long to TP out as a dieback on the Rubik. Along with that, underneath the tier 1 tower, as DB was able to sweep to top and connect at the remnants of the fight.
That gets the ultimate orb. Very good for just making sure your illusions are as strong as possible. Beefy boys. Getting much closer towards that Manta style. Once he picks up the Diffusal Blade, what can you really do, right? Like we've been saying before, they've got a good amount of lockdown with the Grimstroke plus the Sand King. Gives you space to be able to join the team fight together with something like the Ensnare. You've got the Silence through, so what's a Void going to do? He can't time walk away. He's not going to get a BKB for some time. So, I mean, even if you're not getting chain stunned and silenced, you're just going to have no mana as well to be able to time walk away.
He needs to be 6-slotted, that's what he needs. Maybe in 6-slotted might not be enough, as DB should be able to find another. Zorain has to do a defensive false promise and he'll be okay. Now, Army Geniuses are going pretty deep, but they also have the potential for the song as DB gets it at the last second. We've got to make sure this one doesn't get stolen, and a TP out will prevent that. Bottom lane, they're onto KSH, but he will just get away from the grasping hands of Army Geniuses.
All right, so it just feels like a lot of lanes are being pushed in right now. So Azura with that Boots of Travel build, obviously you can afford to do that. I mean, Nagasarin, one of the best heroes in the game at being able to utilize the jungle to its full effect. And I mean, the fact that you've lost the mid tier 1 tower.
They're going on Wami mid. Wami is actually going to be killed off. Okay, so Hor is showing this Void Spirit can have a lot of burst potential, but behind the remnants of the tier 1, it's going to be Azura's follow-up. But they still, if they don't kill up the Oracle, then it's difficult to get the Void, so KSH jumps into the middle, a Chronosphere onto 2, and how are Yangon Galacticos continuing to pull off some decent fights? They're going to trail Narman after the Fortune Sand can reveal his position, as Yangon find 4, 0 casualties on their end.
I feel like this definitely isn't the way that you want to be playing the Timbersaw, right? Like the only reason that he's dying is because he just doesn't have the assistance from the rest of the team to disrupt all of the damage that they're freely able to layer in onto him. Even if it's just Sand King that's playing near the Timbersaw, it's fine enough, right? Because you've got that Blink Dagger, you've got the Burrow Strike, there's no BKBs to be able to prevent that stun coming through. And
Top lane, they're charging up the Epi. I don't think there's anything Skill A can do to disrupt this already. The damage has been dealt. Okay. Maybe he can do that. Sakuchi's about to expire, but Wami with the backstab. We saw it prior from DB. This time we're going to see it from Wami just cutting off the only escape avenue.
So I like the fact that they're actually grouping up a little bit more strongly together now. DB is... Oh, okay, they're just going to go into Roche, I suppose, realizing that the Chronosphere is not going to be available for the next little bit. They don't really want to take any kind of skirmishes because you don't have that epicenter available.
They're in trouble, though. RT's got to get out. Azura's going to make sure that's not a possibility. Now Wami's onto the backline as well, disrupting the Oracle. So we can't really spellcast freely, though it's still messy from Army Geniuses. Azura's killed off. Hor dropped the combo. You don't have the song as well to retreat away, so they're going to try and group up as a team, playing around their observer ward. He's going to go back into the south. They see KSH. He's already used the Mask of Mana, so he can't time walk. Nice read from Army Genius, but DB still needs some assistance. Or does he? It seems like the Naga is still untouchable. He's got the song. If he wants to use it aggressively... Well, it's going to jump over to the right side, offering up some burst potential. Back out he goes. Beautiful play from the Void Spirit. He's still getting targeted down from Wami, but a T's going to come in the nick of time along with Azura. But a Resonant Pulse protecting Hor for the last little moment. To the east inside, the Void Spirit goes. He's going to be trailing under the Observer Ward. So Army Genius have full information of where the Void Spirit is starting to position. Now they're back onto the Tuskar as well, but hang on, DB? Whoa, that's a bit too close for comfort. And they're still going to jump in. 1 and a 0. They got plenty of resources to take this fight. What is going on? They're on KSH again.
I don't think they can make anything happen. He's just going to go for the solo Chronosphere. Walking into it as well is Wami. Just a little timing there.
Azure's got Epi. Is he going to go for this? Okay, on the Tusk instead of KSH, but...
It's a core.
It is a core. Without a doubt, it is a core. You take away the life of RT, and... Dude, what is this game?
Feels very pubby, let's be honest about this, right? Like, it's basically 2 kills a minute, constantly running in and dying and skirmishing, and it feels like both teams are just having a really good time. You've been able to get a good portion towards that Orchid, though, on DB. He's actually gone away from the Diffusal Blade, realizing that, look, if they're not going to build for this survivability, you can just look to divide and conquer. The important thing is making sure that you're just either killing the Oracle first or splitting the fight up enough so that the Fortune's End isn't going to have as much of an impact.
It's so difficult, though, for Oracle to have a fight where he's freely on the backline, because we've seen Wami target him, and now Naga's just going to send multiple illusions at him as well. So, okay, Sage again. Oh, they even got an ATOS on Narman. Beautiful itemization, and the last second silence to put the nail in the coffin. They're going to be eyeing up Skill A along with this. Shard's not really helping out Skill A too much. He's kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place, so that they got the double damager in the hole. Timbersaw gets ripped apart. DB still trailing the fight. Gonna run into the Oracle onto the backline. But Army Geniuses with a numbers advantage can move this to another easy pickoff. As the Tuskar, well, he's gonna try and take someone to the grave with him, but doesn't have the damage by himself. Was very hesitant to jump in. He's still gonna try and do this. Alright. Dude, Hor is having an exceptional game.
He needs to. Everything is on this man right now, and yeah, things might start to turn around a little bit if he's able to get up to that Aghanim Scepter. He's only about 2 components away, 1.5 actually, and he's going to hit that level 15 mark. So the extra little bit of Resonant Pulse damage, very good at clearing out those illusions. The Orchid not really providing anything in terms of stats, so it still is quite easy to clear a lot of those out. Wonder what he might look to go into next here on DB as well. There's that first use of the Orchid there. Very easy kill onto Skill A.
He's got Song in 3 seconds. Can he even get it off, though? He's not going to have the opportunity. Is DB a bit too greedy? Gives up a wicked sick in KSH. Well, he'll have the finishing blow, so 654 gold injected into the Bank of the Void, and that will be closer to his BKB. And look at this. They want to go.
He's so incredibly important there, Narman.
Beautiful, Narman. Scouts out the smoke. You're okay if you lose one, but hang on, they actually want to take the fight as Azura into the middle. Epicenter, mass amounts of damage onto KSH. Hor as well is going to be cautious. They have the follow-up, although they don't have the control. That's the big X factor. But Wami Chakra from the low ground, and he'll get a little bit of damage required to tick him over to the threshold of death.
So sick. The Chakram just giving them the vision, and then Narman got the Atos there, so he wasn't able to get away. Really good team play coming through from Army Geniuses. That is a big thing, though, with the previous team fight where they were able to pick off the Nagasar and take away that big kill streak. The BKB is the big thing for mine, right? Void gets BKB, Void Spirit gets Aghanim Scepter, and this game, I don't want to say it's busted wide open, but it gives them a legitimate shot to be able to come back into things, because the silence, of course, incredibly effective against something like the Timbersaw, the Weaver, the Naga Siren, to be able to heavily reduce their impact. And it feels like at this point in time, KSH, whenever he goes in, it's a full-on commitment. So if you can go in with the luxury of knowing you're just not going to get counter-initiated onto by the Sand King, it gives you a lot more freedom to take advantageous team fights and maybe go for these riskier, high-risk, high-reward plays.
45
I really
kills?
like the itemization. Look at this. He's gone for the heart on the Naga. I was saying before, the Orchid provides you no stats. Well, basically the exact opposite there for the heart. He just wants to make his illusions as tanky as possible so that even with that itemization that the Void Spirit's going to have soon enough, it's not actually going to result in much of anything. The illusion still should be able to survive.
This game too, though, has been action-packed. 45 kills, the 21-minute mark, and I don't think it's really going to slow down with this Aegis on Army Geniuses. They want to continue taking fights. Looks like Oracle make it to the 46 mark, unless nice use to the Fortune's End.
Just make sure they're not clumping up on top of each other. Don't give Faceless Void a free way to take a team fight. Wami, he's patrolling down here a little bit too close to the enemy base for my liking.
Epicenter from Azura.
For a Rubik, yeah. He's got the buyback, so this is probably not something where you actually want to continue committing onto these tier 2 towers. Maybe try and take a little bit more control over the bottom side of the map.
He's running aggressively under the Observer. What's still without the BKB? What's that damage? Oh my god, the Ink Swell paired with Wami's just so much burst as there was no opportunity for the Oracle to dump abilities out defensively. And off to the other side, our TB finally chases down RT. He was trying to do so for quite some time, but in the end, gets it. He had to use a song for that. Okay.
That kill's a kill. You know, it's a 4 for 0 trade. The thing for mine is, it's hard for him to do so because they've got such great pickoff on Army Geniuses, but he needs to be a little bit greedier.
First Astral Set.
Right?
They're going to be lacking the stuns at the moment. Second one's used to simulate up in a couple of seconds, and Hall will be okay. But DB sweeping over to the high ground they go. They're still chasing down the Void Spirit. Can they find him through the tree line? A little bit more damage on Wami. Flies on over, gets that pure, and down it goes the Void Spirit. Has been the X factor this game for Yangon Galacticos, but he will not be long for this world.
They just dive in tier 3 towers where no tier 2s have been removed. That's how confident Army Geniuses are in their skirmishing potential. Even just getting another engagement onto RT. The Fortune's End might save him for a little bit. Really will actually save him in the long run there.
Me? You thinking about it? Where's this snowball got?
Still not taking a tier 2. I mean, there was a lot of attention diverted away from these towers, and DB unfortunately still wasn't able to put a little bit more emphasis onto it. Still got that Aegis, so he could have definitely afforded to do so. But I suppose when you're only 300 or so gold away from picking up the Reaver, you're just wanting to be perhaps a little bit more conservative.
Don't do it. Oh, solo chrono. Used on just poor old Narman. Yeah, he dropped the well played. Everyone's dropping the well played. Oof. How long you got in Aegis? Still another minute 40. Yeah, you group up and go again.
Mm-hmm. Just wait for that. I'm hearing a pump fake in Epi. Not going to happen.
Classic
but
Sand Kings.
There's the item. There's the Aghanim Scepter, but there's the heart in response to it. So look at what DB does. He's like, okay, well, my illusions no longer have 1600 HP. Now they've got 3100. Nearly doubling it just from picking up one item. So he can afford to just play so much more aggressively now. Still needs to play in the relative proximity of his team. But, you know, with a Weaver, a Sand King, a Timber Sword, they're just so readily able to join in onto a lot of these team fights. And he's actually going hunting a little bit here.
Oh. Starting to TP towards the area. No one at the outpost just yet.
Pincer move.
Yeah, poor old Zoraine. Look at this. Just the Oracle is so immobile. Everyone else is a bit speedy in the river. They're going to run into the second support.
A tiny stroke in my masterpiece.
Do we have BKB? We do not. On
top lane, Hor. It's going to get a kill in the Grimstroke, so get something out of it. Azura is going to continue the chase, though. Gives out the good old fake grenade, so he has vision over RT. And what do you know? They're everywhere in Army Geniuses. You're in their own jungle, over to the remnants of the top tier 1 tower. And back to the tier 2 mid, as that one's going to end up being killed off from the illusions.
Alright, so they've got a tower now. Tier 2 tower, rather. He made that TP rotation down towards the bottom side. Just 13 seconds left on the Aegis, so DB does need to be a little bit careful.
Bring your illusions. Oh no, he didn't have illusions over there with him, but still a lot of damage. Oh, should be okay. He's actually gonna go. Jesus Christ!
Oh, he was charging up the Song of the Siren there.
Radiant are scanning.
And these Naga illusions are destroying my frames.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's time for an upgrade, Mr. Gonad.
Anyone feels like
no.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We will cut that out. Don't be silly. BKB on the Void. See what they can get out of this. Chrono's back up. And like you said, Age is not available for DB. Oh, they're going to jump. I don't know. DB's got a lot of health. 3,200. Good luck killing him off. I think they smoked under a ward too. Well, they get confirmation now.
Bottom tier 2 tower will go down while this is happening. Lane's just pushing in on their own.
Okay, Sage. They're going to look to jump the Faceless Void. Nice reactions with the Time Walk.
Good
Split up
initiation.
fight. They're going to make sure they're not grouped up. They'll kill off the Oracle. Now towards the right side. RT, he's been caught out as well. He's got no more follow-up. And now Army Geniuses can start funneling inside the base as the buybacks. They're lacking on 2. Epicenter charge to 0. It's got the Burrow Strike still available. The follow-up stuns are there. And even though the Chronosphere looking pretty good for KSH, he'll get a kill on a core, but he won't get anything more out of it, as even Azura wants to buy back him for the last time, put them in the grave. They're looking like they will do just that. A dieback for the Rubik, and now the base soon to be in shambles.
DB just going fountain diving. He wanted to buy that Bloodthorn immediately, not even having the patience to wait for his crew to come back to him. He's just sitting himself out there. I'm sorry, man, but the rest of your team doesn't take towers all that effectively. Wami's still not having that Aghanim shard for himself, so eventually he makes the rotation back, joins in the rest of his team. 18k net worth, 26 minutes in, 28 minutes in, excuse me, but no Chronosphere, no Void Spirit, no damage. I'm saying my points are looking safe.
My points are looking extra juicy right now. Well, then maybe we should... Oh, okay. Oracle? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. No.
Maybe we should have said Yangon are going to win. I know you.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say maybe we bait the viewers, get them predicting Yangon, then we just take all their points. Oh, I'd get me closer to the... What are you at? Milli mark? What's even the cap?
After this game, I will be.
Oh, no. That's the... maybe that should have been the play, honestly. This is a beatdown, man. 64 kills, and it's probably going to be a like 31-minute GG. And this is a qualification series as well, so Army Genius is looking extra clean.
I'm just not a fan of this Tusk first pick, right? Like,
and the Oracle first phase with it.
Yeah. I mean, Tiny was right there. It was right there. And you pick a hero that some regions haven't picked at all.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Second full set of barracks. Got tier 2s protecting at least the Megas, and Chrono up in 25, but look at them. They're hunting the Void.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
There's nowhere KSH can go. Poor guy nearly has the Mjolnir to try and maybe deal with these... Naga illusions, but I mean the base is basically...
No, don't do it. Azura, don't do it, don't do it! Oh no. Oh no.
It's the farming epicenter.
Oh yes. Yeah, the well-playeds are out once again, and... Alright, well, Narman's under a ward, and now he's out of the ward. How long's it been 0%? 3 minutes? Not long. It's been 90... Dude, it was 92% at...
24 minutes.
Oh, earlier. It was like 14. 15 maybe. That's rough.
Yeah.
Alright, out they go. One lap. Oh no! No, not like this, KSH! Oh, the tips are out. Dude, you've already demolished them. Now you've got to tip them as well. It's just salt in the wounds. It is just salt in the wounds as KSH. He's trying to fight with the BKB. Yes, to get the kill on the Grimstroke. But it's still just killing illusions. They haven't been able to find the real Naga. As now Wami hunting down the Void. They don't have stuns, but they know he's struggling to be able to TP out. At the top side of the pit, though, Rubik and Tusk are doing a lot of damage. It's going to be a dieback on Azura, but KSH is still getting chased down from Wami. He's making sure he holds the Yules. There's any threat of a TP out, but honestly, what I thought was going to be much worse than what it was.
I don't think you could fault too much about how Skill is playing this game. Like, yeah, he's died 12 times, but he's actually giving them a shot in a lot of these team fights. Some great steals, some great space being created, just the chain stuns going in again and again and again. And a big reason behind why he's dying is that they've got no one really to be that frontliner. Tusk only now, in his death, has finished up the BKB, finally. But you're going to lose your last lane of racks before you're actually able to make any good use out of it. It's still a minute away from having Chrono again. What do you do against this?
DB? There's so many illusions now. Like, what do you do? Well, it's going to try.
Moonshot as well.
Well, killed off all the illusions. That's pretty important. Wummy might be in trouble. Oh, man. Well, no, man. Flies in, time-lapse with the Aghanims, and now Wummy's back up to full resources. They stole the song, but they also just killed the Rubik instantly. It doesn't matter, as DB's firmly standing his ground, and the Soulbind is going to put them in a position where they have to duel the Naga Siren, and that is not a hero you want to be man-fighting, especially with how farmed DB is. And congratulations to lads from Indonesia. It looks like they will be qualifying the second slot over to phase 2, and DB... No, Horde, just DB out! No! He tried to get outside the base. He's still got the Aegis though, so it doesn't matter.
They're just having fun with this one, I think regardless of this, Yangon must feel confident enough that their results against the teams that are currently sitting in that
Timber's got a basher.
Lower bracket. Sure, why not?
Okay. Okay, I mean, that Chrono with the... What's going on?
I don't know, man.
I'll get no buyback, dead for 100. Wummy's gonna tick out as well. They all don't have buybacks. I mean, they can't throne. There's tier 2, no glyph. It's up in 15, but they don't siege fast. But we extend the game. Look at Homogeneous' chat line.
Yeah. I feel like you take the megas before you go for that play. Like, just secure it.
There's a 1% chance now. Hang on, Danog.
And there's a DD rune on the bottom side of the map.
Reckon for reason Nama can kill KSH? Maybe if he pops Mom.
Nah, I don't think so.
So, they're gonna go for it. Or maybe they just feed their own lives, but looks like they're okay. KSH doesn't want to play this one too aggro. I say that though, instant time walk.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scattered.
No
way. Getting that double damage as well.
How long's Chrono on cooldown? 65 seconds. They're like, what do? We can't go high ground. We know we're so far behind.
Let's take some tier 1 towers.
Let's go.
Just backdoor him at this stage. 34 minutes. Why not?
And bots about half. What's top at? Yeah. They've already got a glyph as well. So, yeah, this is... I was going to say, do you go Skadi and Rapier? I feel like you have to go something desperate.
Let's have a think.
Invisibility.
Honestly, wouldn't hate the Aghanim Scepter as well on the Void. Just to be able to time walk all of the different Naga illusions. Get a lot of those Maelstrom procs onto it.
It's a awkward Burrow Strike. And Hall, he instantly kills off the Weaver, but it is going to be at the cost of the BKBs. Soulbind doing a very good job to control them. They're going to the west side instead as Wummy. Well, this bash is not really going to help you out too much at the moment, but they are starting to come in the area. Hiding down the Timber Saw, not an easy kill. Azura waiting for a window to jump in with the epicenter. KSA still protected with the BKB. Azura hasn't found the window just yet. Actually going to the northern side, targeting Horde, but he could just TP out. Right. Meanwhile, DB, a song preventing anything from being utilized with the Chrono. They stole the song once again. How can they set themselves up now with this song, though? What's going on in the backline? Okay, unable to juke the Chakram. So the Void Spirit's going to be killed off. 120 seconds without a buyback.
He did the right thing, though, on the Void Spirit. He completely isolated away the Sand Kings so that the epicenter didn't come through at the end of the Faceless Void's BKB. Still, though, to not have a Void Spirit at this stage of the game, when you're already having 2 lanes naturally pushing into, it's rough.
Yeah, I mean, the Void is
is under attack.
I feel like the sole reason why this game has gone 36 minutes in is they're going to try and target down DB,
No BKBs.
who's not really killable when he's got a heart. I mean, this man is just shrugging off all the damage.
Is under attack.
And Wommy's paired up with him as well. I mean, they might think about going back in.
Maybe this time they'll say, you know what, actually, we'll look to take the racks before we go for too aggressive of a play.
Team, look at the illusion damage. What the heck is this? They got the wait, song back up again. Okay, but awkward usage with the BKB from KSH. They will not get anything out of it. Song 60-second
Green song,
cooldown?
bro.
What?
Radiant's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's top
He
barracks
does have the
has fallen.
talent. 80 at max out? I didn't know it was 80.
Yeah.
Thought it was longer.
Also has the
nice
shot on the nugget.
snowball. Okay. RT buying a little bit more time, but the throne exposed. No Void Spirit. It's all their damage. No Chrono as well. Still on cooldown for another 35 seconds. And now it's time for Fountain Diving. Now it's time to get Yus out of the Basher onto Wommy. But look at them. That's respect. More hesitancy. You know, they don't want to throw like they potentially did last time with the Chrono and 3 heroes dying inside. They've had enough.
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
Just a friendly little standoff here. Letting the siege creep do the work. Let's go Cardi, the super siege creep.
Oh boy, Azura. Nice stolen
Turn
burrow. KSH actually has an opportunity to get time walk out, but the Cardi is continuing
What
to
is
rack up
this?
the damage.
What is this
Nobody's
skirmish
hitting
between
the
Fountain
throne.
and the
What?
Ancient?
Yeah, just the throne and you can end this. Void no buyback. But Hori's back alive, so we'll see what the Void Spirit's really able to do in regards to damage, but all his ultimate charges expended. He's back inside the base, and looks like
There we
DB
go.
makes the call, and Yangon, yeah, they're going to call it quits. So, our Army Geniuses, they will take our second slot, second out of the 4. They're going to move on with Execration, as we saw them, I think, what, day 3? They were able to qualify yesterday, so beautifully played from Army Genius. Very, very convincing from them.
It was for sure. Maybe not so much the very end of the game, but a little bit clowny. It just felt like their draft was so much stronger overall, right? And what can you do if you're just losing going into the laning stage? I feel like, especially when you have that first pick, you want to pick something that isn't called Tusk with that first one. And the hero to build your draft around certainly isn't the Oracle when the enemy team immediately has bans afterwards. And Army Genius is good enough for them. They banned the Husker, they banned the Lashrak, the DP was already gone. What value are you actually getting out of this Oracle other than maybe a save for some of the stuns in lane? Why not a Batten? Why not Omni Knight and go for a strength hero that's able to take advantage of it? So, yeah, it's unfortunate for Yangon because they were so impressive in their first day of the closed qualifiers, but well, they're going to go down to Army Geniuses and get pushed down to that lower bracket to eventually take on the winner of the next series, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that's correct. Next up, we got MY against Motivate Trust. That'll be about a 15-minute break, and this now is a elimination series. So the Thai lads battling it out. It's the Alpha brother versus the smaller brother. I don't know.
You call them betas. You have to call MY the betas. Wow. Imagine that.
It's the academy
Really
team.
let that one down.
Well, they're not really academy team anymore, but it still kind of feels like that with in the past. But yeah, we got Motivate Trust taking on MY. Both these teams looked a little bit shaky in their earlier series, so we'll see how they are able to shape up. 15-minute break until we have the all-Thai affair.